99-year-old gets to finally graduate high school.
And one school district will host a trivia contest to raise scholarship funding. Hello everyone, and thank you for joining us on Channel 14 News this evening. I'm Jenny Shoup.
And I'm Sean Saputo. For those high school students eager to graduate and finally go to college, you might learn a lesson about patience from Audrey Crabtree, who is 99 years old and finally getting her high school diploma. CNN's Bob Waters was there to watch history unfold.
Audrey Crabtree sat in the front row next to her granddaughter and daughter at Monday's Waterloo School Board meeting. She was the guest of honor, receiving her diploma from East High 8 decades after she left school.
You're so much smarter.
Crabtree left to get married and take care of her family way back when. She later ran a flower shop, but told family she had regretted not getting her diploma. Now she has it.
Like I say, I feel so much more intelligent now that I have a diploma.
She jokes about it, but these Hoover Middle School students told her she's an inspiration and presented her with handwritten cards saying so.
I don't feel worthy, but it was really an inspiration and to me, and I'm having a hard time keeping my tears back.
But she says she'll proudly show off her new piece of paper at her Cedar Falls retirement facility, though it won't change her, not at 99.
My writing was illegible and my spelling was original. And I don't think graduating from high school would have made a difference in that area.
Crabtree's family treated her to dinner to celebrate her graduation. They are planning a big bash for when she turns 100 next year.
The Central Green School District Educational Association will host a trivia contest on October 12th at 6 p.m. to raise money for scholarships for district students. Teams entering the competition will have the opportunity to play for their favorite charity with prizes of $1,000 for first place, $500 for second place, and $250 for third place. The cost to enter a team in the contest is $30 per player for teams of 4 and $25 per player for teams of 5 or more. There is a $10 charge for those willing to attend.
A third suspect believed to be involved in a robbery on September 19th has been arraigned. 22-year-old Alan Michael Lipscomb of Mount Morris is currently being held in the Greene County Jail on $250,000 straight cash bond. Lipscomb was identified by his accomplices Daniel Johnson and Mark Paw. The three men robbed Rising Creek Bakery in Perry Township. Two of the men entered the bakery, one held a knife and demanded money. Johnson was caught due to the description of the hoodie left in his car. Police found a kitchen knife under the seat that matched the description of the one in the robbery.
Police are still investigating after 2 men robbed a convenience store in Jefferson Township, Greene County, early Saturday. The robbery occurred at 4 a.m. when the suspects entered the BF store in Jefferson Township wearing surgical-type masks. One of the men brandished a knife and the other was holding pepper spray. The men stole cash from an employer at the store and fled the scene on foot on Route 188. One suspect was described as a white man in his early to mid-20s, about 5 feet 7 inches, with a thin build and short hair. The other suspect has an almost identical description as the first, but was about 5 inches taller.
The White House continues to move forward with Obamacare despite the ongoing fight. We'll have all the details right after the break.
The fight on Capitol Hill won't distract the White House from moving forward with its awareness campaign on Obamacare. Brenna Keeler has the details.
5 days before a possible government shutdown, as the clock ticks on Capitol Hill, the White House is focused on selling Obamacare as many Republicans fight to defund it.
House Republicans, elected and paid by the Americans they represent, have chosen to spend an inordinate amount of time in office trying to roll a rock up a hill.
President Obama wants Americans to purchase insurance on a new online marketplace that opens Tuesday.
We got to get everybody to sign up. Everybody sign up. Go to healthcare.gov. Thank you very much.
Yesterday, Bill Clinton helped the president kick off an awareness campaign in New York. Today, Obama briefed mayors and state officials on the phone, and tomorrow he gives a campaign-style speech at a community college in Maryland. The administration thinks a new report showing premiums under Obamacare will be lower than expected gives their message firepower, even as the president's signature health care program remains deeply unpopular and his approval ratings low. A CNN poll of polls shows only 45% of Americans approve of how he's doing. 49% disapprove, his worst since October of 2011, right after his bruising debt ceiling battle with Republicans. It could happen all over again. Today, Treasury Secretary Jack Lew alerted Congress that the U.S. will lose its ability to pay its bills on October 17th at the latest, sooner than originally thought. Many Republicans want more spending cuts in return for raising the debt ceiling. The White House's response? Absolutely not.
There is no negotiating over Congress's responsibility to ensure that we do not default. We saw what happened when that path was traveled in 2011, and the result was terrible.
You'll recall the markets dipped and S&P downgraded the U.S.'s credit rating. With all of that at stake, it's hard to imagine that the White House won't engage at some point with House Republicans, but right now they're saying they won't. Brianna Keeler, CNN, the White House.
A young Guatemalan boy that was born deaf can now hear, and it's all thanks to a missionary who brought him to America. CNN's Jesse Hoila was there when the boy heard his mom's voice for the first time.
This is 7-year-old Henry Rivera. He was born deaf, but on Monday, something amazing happened. What Henry would normally see as just this became this. Henry made sure everyone in the room knew he could hear Dr. Tina Sheehan's hand smacking the table, and that not every noise was welcomed. Henry came to America and received his life-changing operation after Aaron Van Ord of Grand Rapids, Michigan met him on a mission trip to Guatemala. Aaron's next mission became giving Henry the gift of hearing.
So there was something special about him from the beginning. And I started talking to him, but he couldn't hear me, and I knew my Spanish wasn't that bad, so I started asking around, and they said, well, he hasn't heard since he was little, but no one had known why. They hadn't done any tests. So I was like, okay, we need to figure this out, and that's when we started the whole process.
Aaron received help to get the process started from Ray of Hope Medical Missions, a not-for-profit group in Fort Wayne.
A couple of the local doctors here have worked with Ray of Hope, and they had contacted me, and I had one phone call with Aaron, and I was on board.
The $40,000 equipment was donated by Advanced Bionics, and the procedure was performed by Dr. Disher at Lutheran Hospital. Little Henry heard his family for the first time, his family in tears at the news.
They said they're very content, and that she's like about ready to bawl her eyes out, basically.
Henry has at least several more months in America as he works on his speech and learns to understand what he hears. The journey may not be over, but Aaron couldn't be happier with where it was today.
I had like a flashback to that first time I met him when he couldn't hear me, and he could this time, so it was just everything we've done the past 3 years came flooding back, and it was all worth it.
A pro-gun group wants to make sure residents in Florida are able to protect their homes. CNN's Stephanie Culp has more.
This is the flyer that was passed out throughout this neighborhood. I actually peeled this one off of the front porch of a woman's home. She didn't even know it was there. A lot of other people say they threw theirs out without even reading it. But after getting a good look at it, the reviews are mixed. Some neighbors think this is a good idea. Some say it's bad.
No, I would not need to have a shotgun. No.
Robin McLaughlin has lived in her neighborhood for 25 years and never felt the need for a gun.
I mean, everybody has the right to bear arms, but that doesn't mean, you know, that we should all have a firearm for our own protection.
But one group is looking to arm Robin's neighbors. Volunteers with the Armed Citizen Project went door to door this weekend in Orlando's Sunshine Gardens neighborhood with these flyers advertising free shotguns.
Yes, this is perfectly legal because what we're doing is we're offering, first of all, a certified gun instruction class, but we're not handing out the shotguns whatsoever. these guns have to be transferred through an FFL dealer. So that goes through a background check and everything else.
Ron Ritter is the program director for the state of Florida. He says the group works with gun manufacturers and dealers to get free shotguns or discounted shotguns that are then passed on to the homeowner.
It's been overwhelming. People love it in Florida. We have groups that have joined up with us from Southern Florida, Orlando, Tampa, Sarasota, everywhere that are now, jumping along board with this.
Arming everybody with a shotgun, I don't think that's a very good idea. Tempers flare. The least little problem is going to be neighbor against neighbor.
The Armed Citizen Project has not yet handed out any guns in Florida. The group is just getting started in this state. They say, though, they have been very successful in Texas. In Orlando, Stephanie Culp, WESH 2 News.
Good job, Jenny.
$7,000 high school students drop out every school day. Let's catch them before it's too late. To start helping students in your community, visit boostup.org.
The U.S. Education Department has recently released their list of prestigious schools across America, which includes 5 schools in southwestern Pennsylvania, elementary schools in Mount Lebanon, Kiski, and Southmoreland, and middle schools in Upper St. Clair and Peters all received the high honor this year. Schools received the award based on overall performance and improvement from the previous year.
A crash killing 2 people occurred recently in Bullskin Township. Early reports indicate that a truck collided with a car that was carrying 3 children and its adult driver. The truck driver was not injured, but the driver of the impacted car was killed, in addition to one of the children in the car. Medical helicopters did arrive to transport the 2 other injured children to a hospital.
Friends and family members of Frank Cooler, a native resident of Zelienople, gathered Tuesday to pay their respects after his tragic death last week in the shooting in Washington, D.C.'s Navy Yard. Cooler, who had most recently lived in Maryland, was one of the 12 victims who lost their lives in the incident. He had served as a support specialist for the government for more than 27 years.
Officials in Allegheny County broke ground Wednesday on an office building that is part of the new development surrounding Pittsburgh's International Airport. The new building is part of the Pittsburgh International Business Park, an area of land that is owned by the Pittsburgh Airport Authority. According to Airport Authority Executive Director Brad Penrod, 16 buildings have been built in the business park so far and have noted that the public investment of $34 million has yielded $325 million of private investment since the business park initiative started 10 years ago.
For the first time in 21 years, the Pittsburgh Pirates baseball team has made the playoffs. They won their game against the Chicago Cubs this past Monday night, securing a spot in the National League wild card round. According to Pittsburgh sports broadcasting station Root Sports Television, viewership games increased 22% this year. The Pirates have also noted that the number of people following the team on Facebook has grown 75%, and merchandise sales have increased 53% from last year at this time. Currently, the wild card game is scheduled for Tuesday, October 1st, and will feature the Pittsburgh Pirates and the Cincinnati Reds.
Coming up after the break, April Belizio will have your business report. Stay tuned.
Today is Saturday. Today is Saturday. Saturday, fruit on Friday, ball Thursday. Water Wednesday, touch your toes Tuesday. Let's move Monday, swap snacks Sunday. All the healthy children eat well and move a lot. And move a lot. And move a lot. Eat well and move a lot.
60 minutes of physical activity a day and eating well can help get your child healthy. So keep them active and eating well every day.
Skip a rope Saturday, freeze tag Friday, tap dance Thursday. Whole grains Wednesday, try a veggie Tuesday. Let's move Monday, split the sweet Sunday.
Eat well and move a lot.
Today is Saturday.
Get ideas. Get involved. Get going at letsmove.gov. That's letsmove.gov.
Amazon has been in the news recently. April, can you fill us in on what they've been in the news about?
Yes, Sean. Recently, the Amazon CEO has been in the news. Amazon CEO Jeff Bezos decided to buy the Washington Post. CNN's Don Simmons sat down with Jeff Bezos to talk about how he got into the newspaper business.
Hi, Jeff. Hi, Jeff. When you meet Amazon CEO Jeff Bezos, you're immediately struck by two things. That legendary laugh and his nearly unmatched focus on customer service.
We know customers like low prices. We know customers like big selection. And we know that customers like fast delivery. And those things are going to be true 10 years from now. They're going to be true 20 years from now. So we can count on those things and we can put energy into them.
He met with us at Amazon's Seattle headquarters to personally show off the company's new line of souped-up, lightweight Kindle Fire tablets. One of them is priced at only $139. Apple's cheapest iPad is nearly $200 more.
One of the things you've done so well at Amazon is you've undercut all of your rivals by keeping the prices low. Does that same strategy apply to tablets?
Yes, our approach is premium products at non-premium prices. So we sell the hardware at break even. So we don't try to make any money when we sell this hardware. And we hope to make money when people use the devices, not when they buy the devices. And so that's a very different approach from most companies. Most companies are building quite a bit of profit into the sale of these devices.
The approach this time also includes a feature never seen before on any kind of device. It's called Mayday, 24/7 tech support.
Thanks for using Amazon Assist. I see you hit the Mayday button. I'm your tech advisor, James. How can I help you today?
And you can tap the Mayday button. It's just right at the top of the menuing system. And a tech support advisor will appear on your screen and can draw on your screen and guide you through things and teach you how to do things.
Bezos, of course, has been in the headlines for something else. His $250 million purchase of the Washington Post. These are among his first public comments on the acquisition.
Why did you get into the newspaper business?
For me, I thought the Washington Post is an important institution, and I am optimistic about its future. It's a personal investment, and I'm hopeful that I can help from a distance, in part by providing runway for them to do a series of experiments, and in part through bringing some of the philosophy that we have used at Amazon to the Post.
That philosophy, he says, comes down to this.
What has worked at Amazon is focusing on the customer, putting the customer first, which is easy to say but difficult to do. If you really are customer-centric, it's like being the host of a party. You're holding the party for your guests. Sometimes the host of the party is holding the party for the host of the party. And that leads to a different kind of party.
Dan Simon, CNN, Seattle.
Walmart will soon be hiring its holiday employees. The largest retailer in the world said it's bringing in 55,000 seasonal workers to work this Christmas rush. This year, Walmart hired 5,000 seasonal employees. With 4,000 locations across the country, that is about 13 more employees per store. A Walmart spokesman said they have now opened many stores in 2013, which is part of the reason why 5,000 more employees were hired. According to a proposal from the U.S. Postal Service yesterday, mailing a letter will cost 3 cents more starting this January, jumping from 46 cents to 49 cents. Sending a postcard will also go up 1 cent to 34 cents. These rate hikes are expected to raise $2 billion to the cash-strapped Postal Service. However, the Postal Service must first have approval from the regulatory panel before the prices increase. Chase Bank will not offer joint credit cards anymore as they increase, trying to simplify its offerings. You will now need to add your spouse or any other person as an authorized user to your account. Members who have already had a joint account will not be affected. Chase is not the first bank to get rid of joint credit card options. For Channel 14 Business, I'm April Belizio. Your Jacket Sports Update with Austin Anderson starts right after this.
They say that when you're facing extreme danger,
your life flashes before you. If you think that's sad, consider facing it before you even have enough life to flash before your eyes. Car crashes are a leading killer of children 1 to 13. Deaths and injuries can be prevented by using the right car seat. Visit safercar.gov/the-right-seat to know what is appropriate for each age and size.
The Waynesburg University football team has been able to keep its winning streak alive. Austin, can you tell us more about it?
Yes, Jenny, the Waynesburg football team has played very well this year. The Waynesburg football team improved to 3-0 after beating St. Vincent 23-6 last Saturday afternoon. The Jackets were led offensively by junior quarterback Carter Hill. Hill threw for 131 yards and 2 touchdowns in the victory. Junior wide receiver Andrew English led the team in receiving with 57 yards and a touchdown. Junior running back Jake Forsythe ran for 51 yards on 11 carries before leaving the game with an apparent arm injury. Sophomore running back Jerry Lawman filled in nicely with 67 yards and a touchdown. On the defensive side, senior defensive end Brandon Fedorka had 4 tackles, 1 sack, and he recovered 2 fumbles. The Jackets will play one of their toughest games of the year as they will face 25th ranked Thomas More on Saturday at 1 p.m. in Crestview Hills, Kentucky. The Waynesburg University soccer team was able to force a draw against Baldwin Wallace on Tuesday evening. Juniors Colin Nelson and Nick Brommer each scored for the Yellowjackets in the draw. Waynesburg had 2 one-goal leads in the game, but they were both erased with goals by Baldwin Wallace. Waynesburg junior goalkeeper Brandon Daughtry was able to make 13 saves on 15 shots. Wednesday's match versus Penn State New Keniston was canceled for an unspecified reason. The Waynesburg Yellowjackets host Mount Union Saturday at 6:15 p.m. The Waynesburg University volleyball team could not break the 20-point mark on Wednesday evening as they fell in straight sets to St. Vincent College by the scores of 25-11, 25-17, and 25-15. Senior Mabel Culp led the team with 9 kills, while senior Stan Steich had 6 kills in the losing effort. Senior Natalie Rinaldo had 19 assists in the match as well. The Jackets host Washington Jefferson College on Saturday at 11 a.m. The women's golf team started their season at St. Vincent last Saturday. 3 golfers participated for the Jackets. Senior Madison Presto finished 18th, shooting a 97, which was the best score on the team. The team is off until September 30th as they will play in the PAC Fall Invitational in Middlesex, Pennsylvania. Congratulations to senior defensive end Brandon Fedorka and sophomore tennis player Sarah Reyes for winning the Athletes of the Week. On the men's side, Fedorka was an evident factor in the team's victory. Fedorka recovered 2 fumbles and he recorded a sack in a 23-6 win against St. Vincent. On the women's side, even though Waynesburg didn't win either match last week against St. Vincent or Grove City, Reyes still shined. She went 3-1 individually last week as she was undefeated in 2 singles matches and she split in her doubles matches as well. The Jackets did get the victory on Wednesday, beating Chatham 9-0. I'm Austin Anderson, and that's sports. Coming up next, Ryan Schwertfeger has the latest headlines in this week's Yellowjacket.
Kids will spend 15 minutes watching online videos like this one.
Brushing for 2 minutes now can save your child from severe tooth pain later. 2 minutes, twice a day. They have the time.
Yellowjacket always has a plethora of great articles. Ryan, are they great again?
They are awesome this week, Sean. A new issue of the Yellowjacket hit stands today, and here's a preview of what you'll find in this week's newspaper. On Friday, September 20th, Waynesburg University held its 4th annual alumni luncheon at the Doubletree Hotel in the Meadowlands. The luncheon was for women of all graduate years to network and receive updates about the campus. 4 years ago, Mary Fox, the event planner of Institutional Advancements, used her creativity to develop the first ever women-only alumni event at Waynesburg University. At this event, women from all graduate years can attend. Alumni living in a 60-mile radius of the campus are invited to attend the hotel luncheon. The event provides an opportunity for networking and to meet friends from different generations that share certain similarities. Dr. Jacqueline Kaur, the new provost and vice president for academic affairs at Waynesburg University, was honored to speak at this year's luncheon. Kaur spoke to the women about the changes to the school and her passion to enhance the mentor program. In the midst of all the hustle and bustle of returning to campus, many students may have dismissed a very important aspect of back-to-school preparations for college life: a flu shot. Waynesburg University is hosting 2 separate flu clinics, during which students can receive an influenza vaccine. The first clinic took place today, and the following will take place on Tuesday, October 2nd from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Student Health Services in the Wiley Armory. Rite Aid Pharmacy is providing the vaccine this year. Now, last year, faculty members were offered free flu shots, but 2013 marks the first flu clinic open to students, and it is hoped that such clinics will become an annual occurrence on campus. Jennifer Shearing, Nurse Director of Student Health Services at Waynesburg University, recommends that all students receive the vaccine. More specifically, students who will be going on international mission trips this year are required to receive a flu vaccine. If any student cannot attend the flu clinics on campus, the Pennsylvania Department of Health is offering flu vaccinations by appointment on October 10th from 9 to 11 a.m. at the Southwest Regional Medical Center in Waynesburg. Each week in the United States, 100 young people are lost to suicide. Take Back a Life, Fighting the Silent Epidemic, is taking place tonight at 7 p.m. in the Stover Conference Room. The event is hosted by Peer Education and brings awareness to the problem of youth suicide. Though suicide prevention programs have been hosted by Peer Education in the past, it has been several years since an event like this has occurred on campus. The event also aimed to take steps toward ending the stigma that surrounds mental health, depression, and suicide. Those who attend this event will hear from students who will be delivering messages pertaining to their personal experience with suicide. But you'll find all of these stories and many more in this week's Yellowjacket on stands right now. To view the publication online, visit www.issuu.com/WU Yellowjacket. Reporting for the Yellowjacket, I'm Ryan Schwertfeger, and with a look at this week's weather, here's JD Leidick.
With the high school football season almost halfway done, some teams are starting to heat up, but the weather is cooling down. I'll tell you how to prepare for tomorrow night's game, along with a full 5-day forecast. All this and more coming up right after the break. Stay tuned.
In the small town of Elmira, New York, a boy was born into an all-American family. The odds of him achieving his dream in the fashion industry? 1 in 23 million. The odds of having a child diagnosed with autism? 1 in 110. I am Tommy Hilfiger, and my family is affected by autism. Learn more at autismspeaks.org/signs.
Currently it's 73 degrees here in Waynesburg. Today's high will be 75 with mostly sunny skies, with temperatures tonight dipping to 46 degrees. Taking a look at the 5-day forecast. Friday we'll see the last of the heat as the high will be 75. Temperatures begin to drop as we head towards kickoff of high school games. The low is going to be around 47. For the weekend, Saturday we'll see sunny skies with a high of 74. The night remains cool as Saturday has a low of 47. Sunday will be mostly cloudy with a high of 69 and only a 20% chance of rain. At night, the temperatures take a little bit of a rise, going up to 53. The cool weather will arrive for the work week as Monday will only see a high of 65 with a few scattered showers. The low at night will be 43. And to start October, the high will be 68 on Tuesday with partly cloudy skies and a low of 45. Currently, it's 73 degrees here in Waynesburg. For Channel 14 Weather, I'm JD Leidick.
Thank you for joining us on Channel 14 News this evening.
Tune in next week and every week for Live at 5. Have a great weekend, everyone.